The people that truly matter won't judge you. And those that do, well, I don't want to dress up for you and be a toy. I'm not that girl. No, I'm not that girl. Put your feelings aside. Give that wild shot a try. I'm not that girl. This video is about judgment and why we should judge less and consider more. And why we should never let another's judgment define us. Now let me warn you, before you keep scrolling thinking this is going to get all syrupy. I'm candid, unfiltered, and there ain't nothing getting all sugar-coated here. My videos are my perceptions and viewpoints. You are big enough to form your own. If you want videos that take no prisoners and pack a punch and will encourage your self-confidence to blow up, then hit the subscribe button and the bell right now, so I know to keep making more videos on relatable real-life topics. New upload every Tuesday. Be sure to keep watching for a sneak peek of what's coming next and some bonus outtakes.
Awesome!
Now hold on tight and let's pulverize this not feeling good enough crap to smithereens. As humans, it's in our nature to judge. We are all, each of us, imperfect beings. We all have an opinion, but when is an opinion out of line and bordering on unfair judgment? It's so easy to cast stones as though we ourselves somehow go through life faultless, looking down upon others like our own shit we have completely together. Many of us have caught ourselves unfairly judging, especially when we are feeling weak or vulnerable. I've certainly been guilty of it in the past. Insecurity, immaturity. But I can, in all honesty, say it was always more about the inner turmoil I was feeling than it ever was about another. These days, I refuse to entertain hate speech or unwarranted judgment of anyone without justification. Choosing to not even acknowledge the person who's hurt or slighted me is much better for my soul and those around me. Too often, we judge others based on outward reflections as opposed to their souls. Through self-growth and self-reflection, we can stop these behaviors dead in their tracks. Only form opinions based on our own actual experiences with people and never based on another's. Because how do we ever know the whole picture? Or if we are unwittingly being drawn into a web of deceptiveness, calculated cunning from a hater or someone with a vendetta. Most people will twist shit to paint themselves in a better light. Akin with Chinese whispers, unless we are privy to both sides, it's best we take most we hear with a grain of salt. We hold the power of our own mind and we should never weaken ourselves giving that power to another. The power to enforce their opinions of another onto us, change our feelings. It is often a defense mechanism to judge if we feel threatened, fearful in some way. This person triggers something in us we don't like about ourselves. So rather than grow the fuck up and look within, we project as an ego boost to our own self-worth when we judge another prematurely without even trying to grasp their circumstances. Background to whatever we are judging them by. We are making assumptions that we could somehow do better, be better, without actually knowing all, enduring all, without any actual knowledge of the complexities of this person's life or situation. So easy to judge, but how many of us would actually have the balls to stand up and be judged ourselves? If we were faced with the challenges of theirs, or even any of our own for that matter. To be understanding and mindful is what takes courage and decency. Not tearing another down based on bullshit scenarios of us doing a better job if faced with the same situation. Give me a hell yeah if you agree. We are all human, we all hurt, we all feel, especially those going through hardships. We all deserve the same respect and compassion. We don't have to like everyone, but only the weakest find pleasure in hurting, devaluing another. Most people refuse to acknowledge their own wrongdoings and flaws, but will be first to point out those of another. Before judgment is passed, one should ensure they know every fact or keep their opinions to themselves. They have sweet fuck all right to tell another how they should live their life. Often this is more about refusal to see undesirable characteristics or shortcomings about themselves by attributing them to others. It also derives from envy, feelings of fear or rejection, lack of empathy deep insecurity. And anyone who talks trash on someone they don't even know based on hearsay or assumptions are nothing more than weak, easily led, gullible individuals. They will cut down another with bitterness and sarcasm by directing attention away from their own idiosyncrasies' weak points. Anyone can point their finger at another, but those three fingers pointing back at them are a more accurate depiction of reality. They are afraid people will notice in them the things they're trying to broadcast and highlight elsewhere. They got to boost themselves up, and without shooting another down, their superiority is under threat. And they regard themselves so highly, they feel well within their rights bringing others down. They don't care about others if they can't feel what they feel. The hurt or suffering of another means nothing. Judgmental people are unforgiving creatures. If they feel you've made mistakes or slighted them in some way, even if you are unaware you've done anything, they will forever be on the warpath, dragging your name through the muck, judging, belittling you and your worth to all and sundry. Immaturity and insecurity sometimes makes for a volatile mix. Their actions are childish, relentless, rat cunning. They do not have the mentality or backbone to sit back, view and amend their own flaws and blunders, but feel it's their God-given right to hold everyone else to a specific standard. Doesn't matter how much good you do or bring, they base all opinions and judgments on their own warped viewpoint. The people that truly matter won't judge you, and those that do, well, fuck them and the delusions of grandeur they float around on. It's okay if they don't care for you. Ask yourself why you care what they say or do. Your view of them probably isn't too bloody grand either. Just because another's perception of you is false doesn't mean you have to care. Who the hell are they in the scheme of things? I'm guessing bloody no one. Only the toxic and those with sheep mentalities will judge you on falsity. Take back your power. Give them sweet FA. Giving them any consideration in how you value yourself is giving these jokers way too much. We've all judged, and hopefully for the most part we keep that in check. We're all being judged and we will all be judged. But once you stop giving your stuff, you will unshackle those restraints. You'll be totally free of them. These people are irrelevant to you or your happiness. Some people like to be calculated and cunning. Others like to judge prematurely without pondering that they themselves are becoming entangled by webs of manipulated destruction. And very similar judgments are probably being made of themselves. Most people don't even consider all the negativity they are manifesting back into their own lives. The universe will eventually deservedly deliver right back into their own lap. Sadly for many, they find empowerment, satisfaction in the degradation, belittlement of others. They think their hate speech and vileness makes them appear strong. But this chest-puffing bullshit is derived from their own fears. Their greatest fear is others seeing them for who and what they truly are. Being judgmental also comes from narrow-mindedness, the failure to see beyond their own beliefs, the lack of understanding for those who live differently, present differently. An inherent fear of how the world should be can incite fear and confusion when another threatens to shatter that comfortable illusion. It takes courage to broaden our minds and become open to things different to all we've ever known. So long as people are open to change and accepting different perspectives and lifestyles than they were conditioned to believe in, then people should be no more judgmental of them for the beliefs instilled in them. They willing to accept more openness to things that differ from their own reality. Being non-judgmental is a two-way street that may require patience and understanding. People can change and people do grow, but people have also been raised to see and believe differently. We have no right to instill our choices, our beliefs into others any more than they have the right to instill theirs in us. People feel more superior when they judge, less fearful. It's only when we fully accept who we are, warts and all, can we fully accept and refrain from being too judgmental of others. It's beneficial to judge to some degree. That's how we know if something or someone is right for us and how we basically survive. But there is necessary judgment, and then there is unnecessary, over-opinionated, talking out our ass judgment. A sure sign we ourselves then need to realize we are far from perfect and have no right to expect anyone else to fit the mold of our ideals. It's okay to want to surround ourselves with like-minded people. That doesn't give us the right to treat those foreign to how we think or act any lesser. If you can't be kind, remove yourself from the situation. The compulsive judges are typically in a war with their own identity. Incessant talk of themselves, loudmouth, domineering, and self-involved. It's important to understand that, like ourselves, who shield our most private moments from the world, we all have a backstory, we all have scars and battles. We all have different upbringing, different life stories. We should not judge someone we do not know all the facts harshly, as it's impossible to have experienced all their experiences. Every moment, every setback, every wound that led them to here, or to know what choices they had, if any, that led them to now. When we have life awareness, the benefit of hindsight and maturity, we are more willing to see there is always more to everyone's story. Only those of sinful nature will point blank refuse that actuality, and only those of ill character will paint those not present in a disgraceful light when they have no options to defend themselves. The least amount of judging we do, the better off we are. Judging others openly and negatively will often tell others more about who we are than they are. Our brains are wired to judge, but our brains can also be trained to judge less and consider more. How we treat others is a representation of us, not them. Another's opinion of us doesn't matter. In fact, it's got bugger all to do with us, just as our life has bugger all to do with them. As soon as we wise up to the fact and not let the opinions, the judgments, the assumptions of the irrelevant impact us, the easier and more carefree our life will be. Just do you, slay in your own lane. Just keep doing your own thing, keep walking to your own special beat, because only the judgy fucks that ain't doing nothing will try stepping on your feet. I'm Sharon Leanna. Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Drop me a comment so I know you're here, and be sure to hit the like button for me too. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, as it really helps my channel grow. I appreciate the support. Don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss my next one. Never feeling you're enough. And while you're here, check out my other videos. Until next time, love, peace, and light to you.